In the bustling city of Islamabad, amidst the constant hum of political chatter, a defining moment unfolds in a packed courtroom. Chief Justice Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry, a stoic figure representing the bastion of legal institutions, sits firm against the intense scrutiny of an expectant nation. Tension is palpable as President Musharraf orders his removal, a decision that will rip through the fabric of the nation's fragile democracy, igniting the embers of civil dissent. Across the city, Musharraf's inner circle, an assorted group of seasoned politicians and stern military officials, huddle in a dimly lit room. With furrowed brows, they plot strategies to quell the unrest growing like a shadow over Pakistan's political landscape. The atmosphere is a mix of determination and desperation as they strive to uphold their weakening grip on power amid cries of injustice echoing through the streets. In the heart of Islamabad, a crimson tide sweeps over the Red Mosque. Operation Silence commences with military precision, targeting extremists holed inside. Tanks roll, gunfire ensues, and the haunting echoes of conflict cast a long shadow over the capital. This military assault highlights the growing schism between Musharraf's regime and the population it claims to protect. Across continents, a plane touches down with reverberating hopes and anticipations. Benazir Bhutto, a luminous beacon of democracy, strides back onto Pakistani soil after years of self-imposed exile. Her return breathes new life into a beleaguered populace, driving waves of support and hope for a better tomorrow. But this hope is short-lived. At Liaquat Bagh in Rawalpindi, the landscape of hope is shattered by a tragic assassination. The nation mourns as chaos once again steps into the spotlight, tearing a chasm in an already unstable political tapestry. Meanwhile, Nawaz Sharif's tale is no less dramatic. Initially deported, his saga of return epitomizes Pakistan's turbulent political theater. A back-and-forth struggle that reflects the broader quest for leadership and justice amid authoritarian shadows hovering above. The climactic moment arrives not with a whisper, but with a resounding declaration: Musharraf's resignation. Mounting pressure from opposition forces culminates in this defining retreat, marking an end to his rule. The political stage shifts dramatically as Asif Ali Zardari rises to the presidency, stepping onto a path paved by sacrifices and driven by the collective struggle for democracy. Throughout this tumultuous narrative, the themes of struggle, resilience, and democratic revival emerge vividly. The judiciary and civil society's courageous stand against oppressive rule underlines the critical role of institutional power in shaping the nation's destiny. In the end, Pakistan's political landscape is irrevocably changed, a testament to the unwavering pursuit of justice and democracy in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. In the tribal areas of South Waziristan, a low hum fills the air. A drone has entered the skies. Its presence is ominous, almost like an observer waiting to descend its judgment upon the land below. Suddenly, the skies explode into action as the U.S. drones launch a strike, casting long shadows on the ground and highlighting the growing tension between sovereignty and counterterrorism efforts. Meanwhile, in Pakistan's corridors of power, the debate intensifies. Officials are caught in a dilemma over allowing U.S. drone bases inside their borders. The question is thorny: how to protect their nation's integrity while still taking bold steps in the fight against extremism. Elsewhere in Islamabad, the nation faces another kind of turmoil as the Marriott Hotel becomes the target of a devastating bombing. The shock reverberates across the country like a tremor, rattling the foundations of perceived security and sending a clear message that terrorism has taken root close to home. Tensions further escalate as the Mumbai attacks strain relations between Pakistan and India. The events are like stones thrown in a pond, causing ripples of international scrutiny that demand accountability from Pakistan. Amidst these crises, a particular hunt looms in the shadows: the pursuit of Osama bin Laden. Intelligence agencies from around the world find themselves at odds over strategies, each arguing their path forward while wrestling with a mutual mistrust that hinders collective action. As the narrative climaxes, the scene shifts to Abbottabad. Under the cloak of night, U.S. Navy SEALs move with precision and determination. The target, a suspected compound where bin Laden is believed to be hiding. The raid unfolds like a tightly coiled spring finally released. It's successful, but it leaves Pakistan's military with bruised pride and relations with the U.S. at their nadir. Themes of mutual mistrust between allies permeate every action and decision throughout this period. Pakistan's precarious position comes to the forefront as it consistently battles to balance its domestic security needs with the ever-demanding international pressures. The story unfolds amidst the landscape of espionage, diplomacy, and the relentless beat of the war drum, a narrative of friend or foe in an era fraught with uncertainty. In Rawalpindi's grand headquarters, the meeting room was alive with tension. Civilian leaders faced off against military generals, contemplating the weight of the post-Abbottabad era, where national security policies hung in the air like unfinished sentences. The Abbottabad raid had pricked sensitive national nerves, leaving a throbbing ache of distrust and fear. Across the mahogany table, eyes met and diverged, each side seeking a concealed truth, their brows furrowed in deliberation. Hunfi, the young civilian advisor, leaned forward, attempting to outline policy shifts. His words met the unwavering gaze of General Qadir, whose eyes betrayed skepticism. The room trembled with undercurrents that neither side could fully control. Outside, the fragrant air of Islamabad contrasted sharply with the heat of the tensions brewing within its parliament chambers. Politicians wrestled with the ghosts of their mandates, trying to assert control over foreign policy and defense budgets. The world pivoted on the Salalah incident, a sudden eruption like a storm breaking the silence. NATO forces struck a Pakistani border post, leaving behind a tragic count of 24 soldiers felled by fire, intensifying civil-military tensions. Protesters emerged in droves, fueled by anger against corruption and mismanagement, their chants wrapping Islamabad streets in a cloak of dissent. Public sentiment oscillated wildly, guided by media influence. Private channels competed to narrate the dramatic landscapes of national security, each vying for a piece of the story that could tip public allegiance. The country spiraled towards a breaking point. In an act marked by urgency, Army Chief General Ishfaq Parvez Kiani stood before the national airwaves. His statement defended the military's place amidst civilian criticism, delivered with steely precision. In these settings, Rawalpindi, Islamabad, and the media landscapes, the themes of power battles sculpted a narrative as precarious as the tightrope walked by civilian governance and military influence. As the dust settled on these internal conflicts, one thing became clear. The dance between power and policy was a symphony composed of discordant notes, each melody echoing the delicate balance defining the nation's face.